The castle suddenly flew up into the sky, but it is not up. A few minutes ago, a man was playing with kids in a bouncy castle. A hurricane force wind came and blew the bouncy castle away, with the man and kids still inside. People watching quickly called 911. The castle flew higher and higher. Then the man suddenly fell out of the castle. When the firefighters arrived, the bouncy castle had already fallen. First, the firefighters secured some ropes. Then they went down to where the castle was. After fixing the castle in place, they finally rescued the trapped kids and found the man who had fallen. Let's hope they don't play in a bouncy castle on a windy day again. Late at night, a car crashes into the fire station. The driver, upon exiting the vehicle, is completely nude. The firefighters are astonished and awkwardly avoid looking at her. Chim cautiously snaps his fingers to gauge her response, but the girl remains blank-eyed, unresponsive. Chim suspects she might be sleepwalking, but how could a sleepwalker drive a car? With numerous male firefighters present, the captain can't leave the girl standing there stark naked. He instructs Buck to fetch a blanket to shield her. Suddenly, the girl snaps out of it. The female firefighter rushes forward to comfort her. The girl gradually calms down. After a checkup, it turns out the girl is fine. She admits to having a history of sleepwalking. Buck is baffled. Since you knew you were sleepwalking, why still slept naked?
Look, breathe.
Buck is left speechless. The firefighters prepare to take her to the hospital for a thorough examination.
What do we do about her car?
My car? I don't have a car.
Blackie just bit her pencil, and her front tooth fell out. She stuck out her tongue to lick, but more teeth came tumbling out. She wanted to look in the mirror, but more teeth fell out. Before she reached the mirror, her mouth was already toothless. The woman suddenly woke up, felt her teeth. It turned out it was just a dream, but she suddenly started coughing. Not only did she cough up a tooth, but it also blocked her throat. The woman quickly dialed 911.
My teeth. I'm choking on them.
When the firefighters arrived, the female firefighter prepared to check her throat, but smelled the odor of a sewer. She held back her nausea, carefully examined the woman's throat, pulled out a white solid from it.
Maybe a tonsil stone.
It turns out it wasn't a tooth at all, but a tonsil stone. To prevent the woman from choking on the stone, the firefighters immediately took her to the hospital. It's just unclear if her bad breath and not brushing her teeth are related. The man pushed trash into a trash can, but his keys fell in. He tried to lean in to get it, but slipped and fell right into the trash can. The man banged on the can, but no one answered. And this trash can had a one-way door. The man grabbed his car keys and kept pressing the open button, but no one noticed his call for help until the night, when firefighters were nearby on a rescue. They finally heard his banging sounds.
Hello? Anybody there? Oh. Where are you? In here.
Firefighters opened the trash can and finally found the man. They cut open the lock, and the man was saved, as he asked the firefighters if they heard his car alarm.
What car?
The girl was stuck high up in the air, accidentally opened the door. Just now, the Ferris wheel car suddenly fell and hit a worker. The amusement park shut down the ride quickly, but they forgot about the girl at the top. When the firefighters arrived, they set up a ladder right away, but it wasn't long enough. The girl lay at the door, calling for help, and accidentally pushed it open. The firefighters got another ladder and made the ladder longer. They finally reached the girl, but she was so scared, almost fell. Luckily, the firefighters caught her in time. The girl was saved. Would you still ride a Ferris wheel? The man's hand got stuck in the blender. His arm bent at a sharp angle, but more than the pain in his arm, he was heartbroken about the dough inside the machine. The firefighter were speechless. They decided to turn off the power first, then dismantle the machine. Looking at the complicated internal structure, the firefighters didn't know how to dismantle it. In order to quickly send the man for treatment, they could only unscrew the screws first, instructing the man to take deep breaths, then slowly rotate the machine. The man's arm followed the rotation. His family couldn't bear to watch. As the machine rotated, the blender was finally taken off. The firefighters reset his arm. The man was successfully rescued, but when taking photos, he probably couldn't do the peace sign anymore. A man was trying to sell a guillotine. He decided to stick his head under it to show how it works, but his head got stuck and he couldn't pull it out. Luckily, The blade wasn't sharp enough to cut his carotid artery, but it still caused serious tears, so he needed to get treated right away. The firefighters tried to lift the blade, but they found it was stuck and couldn't move. They had to use tools to force the blade open, but the man said he had paid a lot of money for it and didn't want them to take it apart. The firefighters didn't care about that. They first used a spacer to widen the gap, then they pulled the stuck blade up, and the man was saved. After some quick bandaging, the man was taken to the hospital, but he'll never sell anything again. The fire truck heads towards the dump. The boss angrily explains to the firefighters what happened. 2 people are now buried under a shifted pile of garbage. This rescue mission is really tough for the firefighters. It's high risk because the dump is full of hidden dangers.
I got someone here. First, let's get this thing stabilized so it doesn't move.
A bunch of wires are going through his arm and stomach. The firefighters need to remove the wires, but they can't let them move just a little. At this point, the man wakes up.
Hard drive. I had it. Can't believe I lost it.
Turns out the guy secretly came to the dump to find this hard drive. It's worth $4 million in cryptocurrency, but his roommate accidentally tossed it.
If you want me to help you look for it, I get it cut. 75-25.
But you already know what happened. Just as the man is rescued, the roommate is found.
Help! Please help! Here!
Are you hurt, Nate? I don't think so. Just stuck in very, very hot.
It seems like there's a fire burning underneath the garbage right below him.
Pulling mask can expose you to more oxygen.
That is a chance we're gonna have to take.
They plan to drop a wet hose down to pull him out, and then quickly put the fire out. Both of them are sent to the ambulance. A couple suddenly started kissing in the hospital, completely forgetting about the baby. They had just pushed into the operating room.
They're about to separate the girls, which is so cool.
But not only can't the couple be separated, neither can their babies, because they are conjoined twins. Before the surgery, the doctors practiced many times, but during the real surgery, something went wrong. Although they managed to separate their skin, when it came to stitching them up, the doctors noticed that the younger sister's kidney had died. Everyone was at a loss. Could only one of them survive? Then, the doctors suddenly remembered that they could transplant the older sister's kidney to the younger one. Though each girl would only have one kidney, it was better than having just one baby survive. Since Alex came up with the idea, he was the one to perform the surgery, but the chief doctor pulled Alex aside privately. He said he was retiring next year, and if he didn't take this chance, he might never see another case like this. Out of sympathy, Alex agreed to let the chief doctor take over, but during the surgery, the chief mocked Alex, saying he didn't know how to grab opportunities. Even though the surgery was successful, Alex couldn't feel happy about it. He had been kind and stepped aside, but the chief only thought he was a fool.
Oh, I think I taught you something today. You don't give up a once-in-a-lifetime surgery. Not for any reason, not for anyone, not ever.
What do you think? A barber is live streaming his new technique, fire cutting. Today's customers are 2 girls in school uniforms. He slathers a homemade heat protectant on her hair.
Okay, baby, I'm gonna need you to sit still. All right.
His towel fire smothering fails spectacularly. Firefighters rush to the scene.
He's the scissors where guy.
I think I figured out where the scissors are.
The girl sits in a corner. Her face and hands are covered with wounds. The fire chief asks her if she's burned.
No, it's the water. She's allergic.
What's that called?
It's aquagenic urticaria.
The firefighters prepare to dry her off before taking her to the hospital. The girl's mom storms in.
You're supposed to be in school.
Sorry, Bob. I just wanted to do something on my own.
Turns out the girl is 15 years old. She's not in very good health. That's why her mother is a bit strict with her. She never expected sneaking out for fun would end like this. The boy put a light bulb in his mouth to get his crush's attention, but didn't realize once it was in, he couldn't get it out. Now he lost his chance with the crush and his pride. At this point, the muscles in the boy's mouth started to cramp. His sister said they could try using a mouth guard, but Sean said if the mouth guard slipped, the boy's mouth would snap shut because of the force, which could break the light bulb. If the pieces were sucked into his lungs, it would cause even more damage. Sean couldn't think of a way at first, until his coworker came in. Her idea made him think of something. In the end, Sean used a special surgical bag to wrap the light bulb. This kind of bag is very strong. It's tough enough that even a scalpel can't cut it. But the boy was too scared to bite down on the light bulb. That's when his sister stepped in. Having a sister like that is really lucky for the boy.